appetizers. They're fun to make, they're fun to eat, they're fun to share with people. So anytime you go somewhere, you want to bring a little snack for everyone to munch on, or even watching the game at home with a couple people. So have a look and enjoy. The first appetizer is a veggie tray, pretty basic, and the other one is deviled eggs. Can't go wrong. So for the veggie tray, what we need is vegetables, of course. So I've bought a lot of them. This happens to be cucumbers out of my garden. I've seeded them, chopped them up into bite-sized sticks. And that saves you a little bit of money too if you happen to have them out of the garden. If not, an English cucumber will do. The next one is peppers. So I've got a red, green, and yellow, and that one there is out of my garden too. I had 2 of those, so I chopped them up first. It's kind of guesswork as to how many peppers you need. A lot of people do like peppers, so I tend to make a lot more than the other ones. So there's the ones out of my garden, and the other ones, you want them chopped about the same way. Next up is celery. I cut the ends off just because, and I will use some of those in another dish. I'll squirrel them away for another time. You can get 3, sometimes 2 sets of sticks out of a stalk of celery. It just depends. Here I'm kind of thinking, can I make 3? Just barely. So I like to cut them first, and then we chop them into sticks. You can make them as big or as small as you want. I tend to try and make them into smaller sticks. I find it goes a lot further. Next up is the radishes. Now, of course, it depends on which radishes you get, in season or out of season, or how long they've been sitting at the store. You want to cut both ends off, and if you happen to see some not so pleasant parts of them, you want to cut them too. Once I'm done cutting them, I'll take a look and see just how big they are and cut them appropriately. Now, broccoli has a whole nother story. You can take 1 head of broccoli like I'm doing here, and then you want to chop them into however big you want. It's more, you want to make sure there's lots for everyone to enjoy. So I tend to cut them a little smaller than what you might get out of a grocery store, but there's more. Now, the ends and the stalk I'm going to save, chop up and save in the freezer for another meal. Next up is mushrooms. I usually cut them into quarters based on a regular size mushroom. If they're smaller, you might want to just do them in half, or even just, if they're small enough, keep them by themselves. If they're bigger, you might want to cut them into 6 pieces. It all depends. Once we're done, we're going to put these aside. Now, here's something easy. These are all tomatoes out of my garden. Of course, not the ones in the container. Those are the extras because I didn't have quite enough to make the veggie tray. With the assistance of my daughter, she's going to put it all together for me. So the first thing we're going to do is get all the peppers together. One trick to making a big tray like this is you don't necessarily throw everything up all at once. You kind of put a handful in, push it around, kind of get it so it's close, and then as you get everything in the pan, you can start building it higher and higher, and you'll see how that works. So next is the broccoli, and this isn't all of it yet. This is just so that we can get a base of it. Now you want to look for color too. That's another thing. You want the colors to kind of crisscross around, and you don't want orange with orange or green with green. So you want to stagger it more for looks, and you just got to kind of take a look back and is this the way I like it? Not sure. So the mushrooms are on there next. If you want to put cauliflower in, put cauliflower, that's fine. I won't take offense. Celery, all those sticks that we put together, and then the radishes, of course. So you can see how the colors have staggered, and you look, green on the one side isn't where it is on the other. Now that was the easiest one, the carrots. The carrots just rip open a bag and throw them out. And of course, the same thing with the tomatoes. We just opened up the container and poured them in, put ours on top. Once you're done that, you're going to want to fill everything. You know, there's lots to go around. Now, you will end up with leftovers, but that's okay because you can make a stir fry or whatever you'd like with it. That's the beauty of making a veggie tray. I almost forgot green onions. Myself and a couple relatives like green onions, so it's something I've always put into a veggie tray. I usually do it once it's done, so it's already assembled. I'll take it, keep the elastics on. I'll cut it about like that. The long stems I will chop up and use elsewhere. Once these are done, I'm going to peel off what I need to, give them a quick wash, and into the veggie tray they go. So next up is deviled eggs. We need a pot of water. We need to get it to a boil. Your eggs should be at room temperature. Leave them out for a couple hours before you start this. Use that ladle to get them in to the pan. It's a lot easier. And let them boil. Well, I give them about 10 minutes. Now, once they're done, you want to peel them all. And you're going to slice them so that you have the beginnings of your deviled eggs. Now you've got to separate the yolk from the egg. Real simple. You just take it, gently pop it, because if you don't, it's going to rip apart, and you don't want that. You gently take out all the yolks. See, look how easy it is. That's fun doing that too. So once they're all done, the whites are sitting on a plate waiting to go. We're going to take a Ziploc bag and put all those yolks into the Ziploc. This is probably one of the coolest ideas. I've been using this for years. So in with the yolks, you're going to put about 2 tablespoons of mayo. If you want to use salad dressing, use that. And with it, 1 tablespoon of mustard-ish. Close up that Ziploc bag and mush it all together. Just like playing with Play-Doh or putty or whatever. Just mush it around. Now when it's done, it should have that nice deviled egg kind of yolky look. And there we go. So now what we're going to do is fill our egg whites. I take a pair of scissors, cut a notch off the end, and look at this. Voila! A piping bag. Not only did you not dirty your bowls, but you invented your own piping bag. Well, a little bit of practice, you can get it all out. You got to make sure that the yolks are pretty well smooth-ish for them to come out. And if you have extra, you can always top up an egg or two. Try not to overfill them so you got enough to get to the end. And look at that. How simple was that? Now you can just throw away the Ziploc bag. And of course, the last thing that goes on deviled eggs is a little dash of paprika. The red kind of contrasts with the yellow and it looks really cool, and I like the taste of it too. And there you go. A quick deviled egg. That was fun, and I really hope you try these at home. If you do, let me know how you liked them. Leave me a comment below. I'd sure like to know. Of course, if you haven't subscribed, please do. If you have, thank you very much. Ring the bell. That'll let you know the next time I upload a video. Give me a thumbs up, a like. I'd sure like that too. Feel free to share this and any other video. So until next time, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you. Bye-bye.